Hey, dude, I think the apocalypse is coming.
What do you mean?
Well, just yesterday, I heard the angels sounding the alarm for war.
Oh, dude, you talking about?
Yep, Sky Trumpets. Yo, guys, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of World of Unknown. I'm Danny.
I'm Trevor.
Welcome back, man. Today we are going to tackle Sky Trumpets, or also Sky Quakes. I even saw acoustic gravity waves, but if you don't know what that is, it's the weird videos you've seen out there with weird sounding trumpet sounds out there. Some of it's humming, some of it's it's not all the same.
What is it? War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah. That machine.
Yeah.
That eats people and it's like
right, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
It's basically
weird, crazy sound.
Any loud noises out there that are unexplainable, basically. A lot of it sounds like trumpets, some is humming, some is just
people say it sounds like thunder but no
some
clouds.
Sounds like sonic booms with nothing, or like a thunder sounding with a clear weather or something. Any kind of weird
no clouds and
noises that catch on. That I'm sure if anybody you look on YouTube and seen out there, you've seen tons of that stuff. So we kind of jumped into that world and see exactly what are we hearing out there, man. What was going on here?
So like, it's one of the top 5 air and atmosphere phenomenon that is unexplained.
Right.
No one knows what's happening. People have so many theories about it.
Right. When you've seen the videos out there, very creepy sounding, you know. Some are creepy, some are just very annoying, you know, kind of thing. Yeah. But it is a scary kind of angels going to war kind of sound to it. Exactly. The people, and if you're a biblical person, of course, that's going to scare the shit out of you, you know.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Like if I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I walked out to go get the paper or something, and I heard that shit, and I felt because it vibrates buildings.
Yeah, it can be that
to
loud.
that point.
Right.
That's how crazy it is. And if I felt that, I'd be like,
what the fuck?
I think I'm still sleeping.
Right, exactly.
I need to go back to bed and I need to forget what I just saw.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, it's very interesting because some of it can be explained by hypersonic or supersonic jets.
Yep.
But not all of it can be.
Right.
Because you can check air traffic control and see what's in the area. And a lot of the times, nothing's in the area.
Nothing's there. So let's jump into okay. So the Sky Trumpets have been really popularized in the past maybe 9 years now, 10 coming up on 10 years.
Yeah, but it's been going a lot longer than that.
It's going a lot longer than that, but it took off for the last at least 10 to 12 years now. The sounds heard all over the world. They sound like trumpets, or they sound like plane flying, loud, low humming, Darth Vader breathing. We've heard a shrieking whistle, and some just loud vibrating, like you're talking about.
It's happened in 12, reported in 12 different countries.
Southern countries, and a lot of these. So when you look up this stuff online, too, another thing I want to point out right off the bat is
a lot of it are fake.
95% is all fake.
It's fake, yeah.
People have shown how they've put it out and how they fake. It's easily faked. You just film an area of a city, and then you can put the noise in afterwards. So. You look online, you're not going to find anything. Most likely, you're not going to find anything that's truly the sound what it is.
Yeah, I think you're almost going to have to experience for yourself.
Which kind of sucks, because if you want to look for an actual incident, you're not going to find it online, because people are fucking terrible. They want to, for some reason, keep trolling on this, and it sucks when you're trying to find something real, because either people want to just get the name out there, want to sell whatever, but you can't find it because people are faking it so goddamn much that you can't find it.
And I watched a couple of the videos, and I was kind of like,
right. All right, so these reports have been coming on. Actually, up to 200 years ago, we found in 1824 a author of The Last Mohicans, James Fenimore Cooper, had a short story in 1850. Back in 1850, he had called The Big Gun, which was about that sound.
Okay. Yeah, because it does sound like a gunshot sometimes.
Sometimes a gunshot. It sounds like booming a cannon sometimes.
Yeah.
But I went to 1824. There were reported hearings of this stuff. Obviously, we say some of the origins we have are something called a coronal mass injection. It's a solar wind sonic boom in the Earth's atmosphere is what it basically is.
Oh, yeah, northern lights or coronal mass injection. Yeah, so it just must be just too much particles hitting at the same time.
Something that creates a sound, and it sounds like a sonic boom. So sometimes that happens, which
that makes sense.
Again, I don't know if it's been proven, but that's like theorized.
You hear that over the northern light area though? I wonder if they get a lot of it.
Maybe, yeah.
Some people say it's meteors exploding behind the clouds that we can't see.
Right.
That I can 100%
That would make sense, exactly. Because those things will burn out, and if you look up, you can't find where it's coming from.
Especially if it's out of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gas escaping into the Earth's surface from land or deep water can cause like a humming or a booming sound.
Everything has sound. Right. I've even heard collapsing landmass.
Yeah. Collapsing landmass is another one. They could rumbling, and that can be heard from miles away, but especially in the right settings, echoing that come out, and you don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, that's true.
From miles away, so obviously when you look around, like, where the fuck is that coming from? Yeah. And
now, the one interesting one I heard was like a giant wave crashing, and because if you really think about it, the atmosphere does hold a lot of the sound in, and if you have a big enough wave and how big the ocean is, it just kind of amplifies through the air.
Right.
And I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that is kind of cool. Yeah.
Does it happen more often towards people in the sea?
Yeah. And you think
or
like on the
is it
coast,
more mainland, or like,
and how far would that carry? A lot of these it's got to be just right on the atmosphere and stuff, and we'll go over a little more later that the sound carries a certain way sometimes. It carries to a certain area, because there is other ones where it's inland and stuff. So a lot of these things we're projecting. The good thing about this, or the weird thing about this Sky Trumpets, there's so many different things it could be for so many different places, because they're all different. It's not always all the same.
The scientists right now are going. They're trying.
Yeah, they can explain maybe one area, but then the other area. Again, a lot of these noises they're not all the same. Some sound like horns.
Yeah.
Some is just humming. Others are like sonic boom sounding stuff. So it
could have been a plane.
There's different things that explains a lot of stuff.
Now I will say some scientists have debunked that. Some people said it was an earthquake.
Right.
And they have debunked that.
Yes, I got that. Yeah.
Some people say quarry blasts.
Okay.
Happening.
Quarry blast. Okay.
And the sound resonates.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, especially in a quarry that's deep. It can.
Yeah, and after I think you would have to have the certain, like the perfect area that could sound make that sound travel.
Right.
So you would either have to have like a big ravine that sound can go down.
Right.
Because I've seen it with when they're breaching doors in the military. You can be 100, 200, 300 feet back, and if it's like a tunnel, you're getting hit with that blast.
Right. And it
travels.
Again, it's specific sounds. It's not explaining all the different sounds out there, but there's specific things that could be happening that
they're also saying they debunked this secret military experience.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. There's an interesting one I saw. It could be a shift in the Earth's north magnetic pole. Maybe the shift makes different noises. Yeah. So maybe
we are shifting.
Yeah. So maybe that makes the weird humming, or the one more of a we don't know. I mean, we've never been with it's just recently the Earth's axis is kind of shifting, which normally happens. People it's because we're doing stuff.
It constantly moves.
It constantly moves. It takes millennia to do it, and it's just now we're beginning to get in that area, which is another thing that's not great happening. Here's another one. The atmosphere becoming more ionized, interacting with the Earth's magnetic field, causing ionized gas to vibrate, is another theory.
Makes sense.
It's all these scientific kind of stuff that would go in, and I'm like, okay, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, you're going down to atoms and ions and
right, exactly. And maybe the way they, collide with each other, and it produces a sound, whether it be a trumpet sound or a humming sound, even
everything has
whistle.
A different frequency that it hits with.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
There's one called brontites. Brontites are low, muffled,
I haven't heard this one.
Distant thunder. Heard in certain seismic regions, specifically along seacoasts and over lakes, thought to be caused by low or feeble tremors. It's still a theory, though. It's called brontites.
Now, I can see the sound traveling over the water. Yeah. 100%.
Right, in lakes and stuff. Yeah, exactly, because the sound always travels. They always see that movies
you can yell over a lake.
You got to be careful, exactly.
Yeah, you got to be real quiet.
So any kind of loud sound out there can travel, and it can throw off exactly where it's coming from. Another theory we call is ducting. It's a phenomenon in which thunder bounces off from what they call a temperature inversion layer. So it can allow the sound to travel a long distance. Basically, it's a certain atmospheric thing. So when the sound comes off, it bounces off each other, and it just kind of goes. It's got to be a certain right area. And
that makes sense.
I guess being thunder, it'd be like more of a rumbling, booming sound you would probably hear, and that's when people are like, there are no clouds and no thunder. What is going on here?
And it's just actually that could make sense. You could bounce it off water and then certain types of rock would
Right.
amplify that too.
And if it's like a heavy, it's basically saying that the way the atmosphere is, so maybe it's heavy clouds that are ionized. I don't know. Maybe the
just
sound
a
is
dense,
sound is so weird in the way it travels sometimes. And
maybe it's a moist area or something
maybe,
like that.
exactly. So again, this doesn't explain all of them. This is a lot of theories and explanations for a lot of the stuff that can go on than just actual. Well, we can get into some of the biblical people thinking they're like the apocalypse coming, they're sounding the trumpets.
I can see it, especially back in the day.
Right.
But I think now, if you're thinking the apocalypse is coming, you might be a little out there.
It is, and it's not to bash down on really religious people and what they think, but even if you're really religious, like you said, we're living nowadays. You still need to look at something scientifically. I'm not saying everything, but you hear something like that, you got to look. Okay, what is a logical explanation of why this could be happening?
Yeah.
You don't automatically jump to it's this apocalypse coming on and stuff. I'm not here to say that that could happen is true or not, but maybe look at the logical, simple explanations of what it could be.
What is it? It's 1917 when the Halley's Comet came through and everyone was selling their shit and doing mass suicide and
we get
stuff like
scared
that.
sometimes of the unknown and everything.
And nothing happened.
Right. So it's kind of look at stuff.
I think it's fear driven.
Right.
You just get scared of something you don't know. And
first thing, don't look online about explanation. Certain sites. Depending on what site you're looking at. If you're looking at conspiracy sites, someone that it's going to drive you to a fucking everything's the end of the world.
The lizard
basically.
people did it.
Exactly. I think in the most likely a lot of these stuff is industrial and construction noises that have been explained. There was one a city worker was grinding down a blade on a grater, and that scraping sound was making that loud Sky Trumpet. It's so loud.
Yeah. See, there's I forgot. There's the town on the Canada-U.S. border, and I forgot I think it's Canada.
Yeah.
This sound travels through that area, and no one can figure it out.
I think
it like some people are getting ill from it.
Right. It's because like a vibrating humming, and it affects you after a while.
And they think it's the factories on the United States side.
Possibly.
Producing
they're doing,
this, and they don't know.
And it might be even that area that the factories don't even realize that it's traveling down that far, and
because there is water.
Right.
You have the factories. You have I think a river, and then there's
like I said, the sound is very weird how it travels sometimes.
Yeah,
and some people don't know. Kind of like if you trying to block a leak somewhere and you don't know where it's coming from. That's kind of like how sound is. I think because like good luck trying to find out where it is. Yeah. There's a scraping of tractors sometimes. If a tractor from miles away.
I've heard that
scraping
too.
And if you're like, well, there's no construction way over there. I mean, that stuff can travel down there in certain areas. Certain kind of conditions.
If you ever heard like a dump truck or a tractor hit fucking caliche.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
is
man,
it bad? Is it bad?
It's like
I don't want to hear it.
It's like nails on a chalkboard by a million, and it hurts.
Sounds
man.
fun. Exactly.
It hurts.
You like your teeth? Well, no more. You're like, argh.
Like as soon as it hits, you can tell. You're like, no, stop,
Yeah,
just stop that. Like,
right, exactly. Squeak of train brakes, and that could last. That noise lasts for a long time, and that can last for a while. That can be like the high screeching, whistling to be like. That could be doing too, and if you live anywhere near, I mean, everyone has train tracks kind of near, even if it's miles away from you.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, if you see a train,
you're
like, "There's no train near me." I'm like, if it's miles away from you, you can still hear that. Like I said, it can travel. So all kinds of these equipment and stuff can be doing from the humming, from industrial stuff to Sky Trumpets is just a lot of metal grinding and stuff will make this weird noises and stuff. So
now I did watch a video, and I was telling you this earlier that I watched one, and it was supposedly back in like 2023, and I Kingston or something like that,
right?
And they were like, "Oh, we had a Sky Trumpet, and it was off this Ring doorbell, and there was snow on the ground and everything, and you hear this just grinding sound," and I was like, "Oh, that sounds horrible." And then right after the grinding sound stops, you see the snowplow come through.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then you hear it again, and then the snowplow comes through.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and they go, well, the snowplow is, it's like 4 a.m, and the snowplow is doing this. And I go, don't you think
it's a snowplow?
Like, it might be some new guy, and he's scraping the pavement.
Yeah.
Or
You
one of
can't
the
really
like one of the things to like drop the thing is like grinding or something.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Like,
you can't get it
because they're
right.
big.
Yes.
Snowplows are not small machines.
Again, the sound travels weird too, so it might not even sound like it's coming from that area, but that's where it's coming from. You know,
Yeah,
just the way the echoes and bounce, and you guys, everyone's been out and about and loud noises.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's a cricket. Sometimes think about a cricket noise. You're like, where is it? Over here. It sounds like it's over here. No, fuck, it's over here.
Yeah, dude, crickets.
Same kind of concept. Sound is weird in the way it travels and the way it bounces stuff. You know, it just so you might think like, well, it wasn't coming from over there. I'm like, yeah, but actually it was. You know.
Yeah, and my other thing was the guy driving the snowplow never reacted to it.
Yeah.
He never stopped. He never, because it was like vibrating the house almost. And I was like,
he's probably thinking like, I'm probably waking everybody up. I'm not looking up.
He's like, shit. I knew Jack told me how to do this, but god damn it, I'm messing it up. Right. But yeah, I'm thinking he would have like as loud as that was. I'm thinking he would have reacted to it.
Yeah. Yeah, if it wasn't from him.
I think he would have stopped and kind of like, what the fuck was that?
Exactly, because it was loud enough that... Right.
It was loud enough, and it was vibrating enough, so...
So let's go back here before we jump on to some more. So one of the first postings, I was trying to look at the first posting of a Sky Trumpet on there. One of the first postings from amateur researchers are trying to determine is around about 2011. A YouTube video in August 2011 was in Kiev, in the Ukraine, by somebody called Russian Christina.
Okay, Russian Christina.
Christina, yeah. And interestingly enough, the site that I was looking at is called Skeptoid. And they had noticed that there was, and it had a bunch of different sounds, and it's going, and the name is Skeptoid. So, but he did his homework pretty good, this person, this site. They said, interestingly enough, this sound was very similar to a movie in 2011 called Red State. And the movie's about a hoax of a rapture. These kids are playing, and they did this trumpet sound to scare these people, thinking the rapture was coming through a giant siren horn. And they kind of lined up the sounds. Now, the sound's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. What's interesting about this is 6 months before this girl had posted this video in Ukraine, this movie had come out. Now, this movie had not made it to the Ukraine yet, but it was at a European
like a
festival.
Film festival.
And don't forget, there's a lot of bootlegging going on, especially back
100%,
then.
100%, especially with
So
Russians.
she could have seen it. So, I mean, it's not saying that's what this person got it from, this original video. But again, we showed how easy, if you look at a video, how easy it is to fake those sounds, because all you have to do is just film something and just put a sound over it. You know?
Especially nowadays, but back then, yeah.
Listen, the sound was kind of similar. It was kind of hard because when he had the two sounds, the sound of the movie was people talking over it, but I can probably see this person like, ooh, getting the sound close to what she heard, because it kind of sent similar to what that movie was, and posting it on there and just letting it run.
Yeah, and it also could be the different equipment used.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just interesting that was 2011. This is around the first time that one of these videos came out where it took off, and I just want to put out there as one of the basic videos, because I was like, where did this all come from? So again, most of it, if not all of that stuff online, is all fake. But there have been written stuff about weird sounds coming.
That's what I'm more interested in. Like the stuff that like predates, especially supersonic flight.
Right. So they blame it sometimes on planes, supersonic thing. But
100%. If you ever heard a jet come through the air, that's
but doesn't
scary,
explain all the sites, like we're talking about the 1800s of people hearing stuff before they were flying was going on. You know, there's no supersonic.
Horseback in prairies.
Hearing stuff has been going on for a long time, and so that's why I would think a lot of today's might be industrial construction. Back then would have just been a lot of natural phenomena going on, which we had listed a bunch of atmospheric landmass stuff. They had quarries back then. You know, you never know. It's just
you know what I'm thinking. I might have to do some more research into this, but I'm wondering if there's Air Force bases anywhere near, because if there is, you could have a experimental jet doing Mach 6,
right, and then going on. If you're not gonna be able to see that thing, especially
if it's like a little bit of cloudy or whatever,
a long way.
Dude, like I've seen on videos F-22 going by aircraft carriers, and they're hitting Mach. Yeah. And you just, the boom that hits when they pass.
Could be that too.
Is something. Right. That's something.
Right. And that could be heard for miles and miles away. Exactly. So,
you definitely vibrate off of that one too.
Again, there's not one explanation for all these things. I think it's just a bunch of different ones. Obviously, back then, I think it was more natural phenomena, as we were saying before, but I think nowadays there's a bunch of stuff you can do, industrial, military, natural. It's just all kind of comes in. That's why it's all different. That's all sound different.
I could 100% see some guy like in like a valley, and he has big mountains around him, right? And there's a storm on the other side of the mountain, but he can't see it.
Right.
He just sees beautiful,
right? And he's freaking out,
and all of a sudden, just this nasty storm's going on the other side, and just you hear boom, and he's like, oh my god,
yeah, exactly. I mean,
I can see
laughing,
that.
but that's probably happened.
I can see
before.
that 100%.
So, and obviously, let's just go off the rails here. People think it's aliens and UFOs that are to be blamed that are doing stuff. I don't know why they would just be making noises, but they think,
no, man, because all the alien things, especially UFOs, they're dead silent.
They're supposed to be dead silent. So why would aliens
unless they're just fucking around?
I was gonna say they're just messing around. Like, look, watch what they do when we do this. Like, look at them, they're running around.
When they watch War of the Worlds and they're like, watch guys, they're gonna freak out.
Hey, you want to freak these people out? Look at this. Exactly. I mean, that's the only reason when they do that. Other things are like industrial equipment with also top secret governments like HARP. Or the New World Order is making these.
See, HARP's interesting.
Yeah, now HARP is the weather.
The one out in Alaska.
Yeah, one out in Alaska.
They're trying to control weather.
And that gets another episode on its own.
Exactly. And seismic activity.
So maybe the experiments they're doing are making all these weird noises. But like I said, there's.
Now I did say So I did read that seismologists came out and they said skyquakes and sky trumpets are not from seismic activity.
Right.
We've ruled that out. Yeah. So it has to be something else.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like.
Well, let's see. Another theory I read was called Project Bluebeam, and it's a conspiracy theory which NASA is trying to start a new age religion, in which the Antichrist is the head to jumpstart the New World Order. Sorry. So it's supposed to be NASA. Some reason is trying to start a new religion in which the Antichrist is the head, and that's supposed to jumpstart the New World Order. I know. I got that same.
Hold on. You're talking about
Project Bluebeam out there. Watch out.
Okay, you're talking about the NASA is getting defunded constantly.
The NASA, right?
That can't even go to the moon right now.
For some reason, they're trying to start a new religion. NASA's always up to a lot of stuff with these conspiracy guys.
Well, there's a lot of smart people.
Yeah, but for some reason, NASA. I don't know why there's always NASA.
Yeah, I don't think most of them believe in religion.
Exactly. So they're trying to start a new religion. It's going to be head up by the Antichrist, and that's supposed to bring in the New World Order.
So who's the Antichrist?
I have no idea.
Have they picked him yet?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who's going to be.
I don't know. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Right, SpongeBob.
I mean, do they do like a job fair and they're like, hey, we're looking for Antichrist?
Looking for Antichrist. Sounded to be the Antichrist.
What do you look creepy?
Yeah. I like to kick puppies on the way home. Oh, okay. Ooh. Keep telling us more.
I like his look.
Then I help my grandma. Now, you can't be Antichrist help your grandma.
What's the Skarsgård kid that plays it?
Oh, I forget. Bill Skarsgård, right?
Oh, dude. Yeah. He looked a good Antichrist.
Yeah, he can look like it.
He got that evil with that smile.
Antichrist is a 24-hour job. You got to be evil the whole time.
I know.
Or is Antichrist actually evil?
I don't know.
Ooh.
I mean, we're getting into things.
Anyways, so it goes down to a lot of these things are obviously silly, and a lot of them are I don't want to say silly. A lot of them are
out there.
A lot of really religious people go for the biblical sense, and I saw one of people talking about it, and it's. I don't want to make fun of these people, but you really got to sometimes step back and be like, okay, what is the explanation for this thing? First of all, they look at stuff online. Don't believe it right away. As we said,
95% of it's full of shit.
I'm thinking like 99.9% might be.
I'll give it. Yeah, I'll give you that.
There might be a few things out there that are out there, weird sounds, but it can be explained by, I think, a lot of it industrial,
or just natural phenomenon.
Nothing. I don't think there's anything nefarious about on this Sky Trumpet stuff. It is interesting though. It is interesting that we can't get. If it's not industrial and construction-wise or man-made, what is it? What could it be? I don't think it's anything we should be scared about. It's just something cool. And I think the way sound travels and the way the atmosphere acts, if it's the ionized, whatever, all the things we read.
Ionized particles in the atmosphere.
Exactly. That bouncing off it. It's
think
kind of
of
neat that it does that.
You got to think of like the sound that, just a massive thunder makes.
Yeah. Right.
And how it's generated, and you think it can only be in the clouds. And I'm like, no, I think there could be things where like clear sky day.
Yeah.
Perfect example. Clear sky day here in the summer, and it's fucking hailing in the middle of the desert.
We've seen it. It's happening here in Las Vegas.
I've gotten hit by it.
Yeah.
And you're going,
what the hell?
And you just look up like, what is happening right now?
Right.
So I could see like maybe just a perfect charge of elements up there, the particles, and all of a sudden it just friction just right, and you hit this boom.
Yeah. We have Aurora Borealis, and we know what that is. Why can't we believe a sound can carry just like that does, like the light does?
We're getting bombarded by particles from the sun constantly.
So, there's some, maybe we don't exactly have the right, what it is yet, or maybe we do, I don't know. But there's a lot, and again, a lot of different sounds, gonna have a lot of different explanations for it too. But I don't think any nefarious. I don't think it's anything like that. But so everyone hears that, take a step back. It might be creepy, sure. Might sound weird, but
a lot of things
War of the Worlds is not going to happen. Sky Trumpets, the Angels Trumpets, they're not sounding like that. I'm pretty sure if you're religious, if that ever to happen, you're going to know. It's not going to be like, I think it's this. You're like, holy shit, it is this.
I will laugh. Yeah. It's like this little car horn when it finally goes off, and everyone's like, what is that?
I'm like, oh my gosh.
War.
Uncle Tito? That's it.
Chimichangas?
That's funny. All right, man. Hey, this is a short one, but it was interesting looking in because I'm kind of looking into it. But I never, as creepy as it was, and even I know it's fake online, I never thought it was anything weird or nefarious or something. I just thought it's kind of cool, the sound and where it's coming from. I thought from one point it maybe certain animals can be making a long,
weird like elephant or something
weird. Elephant with a cold, you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to experience it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Just to. I don't think I'll be freaked. Well, you know what? I think I might be like, what the fuck?
Right.
I'd be looking for some storm clouds, but
I definitely thought the more interesting one you talked about, but the one in Canada, the humming that are affecting people's
people get sick from that
because it was nonstop.
Yeah,
it was a humming nonstop, and that was a bit affecting.
You're talking about day in, day out.
But that's again a vibration which our body's not used to feeling 24/7, and after a while, it can affect your equilibrium. It can affect your body.
The police actually have non-lethal weapons from sound.
Yeah,
and it'll make you throw up and vomit and give you headaches and dizziness.
Not good. So that can affect it. But those things I think are all like that kind of stuff. I think it's all industrious and construction.
I think it could be
right
because you got a lot of moving parts. Right. You got a lot of chemicals in the air. You got in there a lot of it. You see that that moisture coming out, like the smoke.
Yeah,
I think that is messing with something.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, and again, sound travels weird.
Very weird.
If you guys ever hear something out there, record it, man. Put it out there if you have something. But I think that's about it, man, right?
Yeah.
It was an interesting topic, though.
No one knows what it is.
No one's 100% sure. Yeah.
100% trying to figure it out. They're really working on it.
Yeah, exactly, because they want to know what it is, And see
I want to know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe AI will figure it out.
AI probably already knows. AI's doing it.
And he's like, these idiots.
They're like, they're not aliens messing with it. It's AI messing with them. Yeah, these idiots.
I farted. That's what it was.
That low humming.
He's
like, all right, all right, everybody. All right. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Comment.
Please comment, man. If you like any of our episodes or if you have any ideas or just tell us out there or tell us any of your experiences. If you guys ever heard any of the Sky Horns or Sky Trumpets or what you think, if you think we're full of shit and we're missing something on the subject that we're doing, please post it out there, man. We'll try to acknowledge it on there for you guys and everything. Hey, until next time, we'll see you guys. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Boop.